So today we are going to be talking about Black and White. The question is, will it rise, will it drop when it comes to the English set coming out? We're going to have a look and see through the Japanese side. It's only been out a few days, not even necessarily a full week as of yet. Plus obviously there is always that hype to start with and it drops down tremendously when it comes to Japanese. The perfect example is the Team Rocket, which I will show you right now. So if we go into the Team Rocket, you can obviously see booster boxes. They tended to have been quite expensive on launch and they dropped massively. We saw them at the 190, I think I saw them about 180 on TikTok, if just looking there for instance. And you can see that they dropped in the matter of 2 months down $100. I mean, that just tells you everything you need to know. And to be honest, when it comes to the Black and White, I don't know if I see the same happening straight away, but it's most definitely going to be an interesting set to see where the hype is. The deluxe packs are always interesting in itself, and obviously we have no market at the moment, but the big thing is the difference between the Black and White is it's a dual set, so naturally we've got to always consider, is that going to be a massive factor in it? But then also it is the fact that it did come in quite cheap. It's only at 100, and I say cheap, I can imagine a lot of Japanese collectors are thinking, well, we used to buy these boxes at $40, $50 and it wouldn't even blink an eye if it went to 30, but now it's coming in at the 100, the 200. It's always questionable in that sort of sense. So when we do look at the two sets, they are very interesting in themselves because there is so many hit rates. And as we look at the prices at the moment, we can't really speculate on things going down as of right now because, like I say, it's not been out that long. So in a week's time, when we come back to the Japanese side of this, we can see when we look at the Reshiram at 244, we then see the 38, 25. I imagine a lot of the SARs, a lot of the illustration rares to be coming in relatively cheap because we can't have 150 cards, say 70 cards each, at like $50 plus. They are going to be quite cheap because by all accounts, it looks like the rate of hit is pretty good. Now, that is obviously without opening up any myself. That is purely just watching countless amounts of TikToks and different lives from other people opening it up. So it is going to be that interesting one that when you do look at the Black Bolt as well, we will see that we've around about the same also. Obviously, if you look at the Zekrom is not in there for some reason. It might be completely out of stock and it's just not at the top. But obviously, End's Plot is going to be quite a big one. I really like the look of that card. Snivy obviously coming in. You've got Muna. And again, it follows the same sort of pattern. You see a few high ones and then you kind of go down and it lowers down. Obviously, it's not necessarily the full kind of whack because naturally the set's just not been out long enough to make a massive comparison for the actual set. That's going to be for a video later on down the line when it comes to looking at Japanese sets in itself. So when it comes to it, is the English set going to come out at a super high premium and then drop down? And when it comes to the English set, do we see the products go down massively? I don't think products, no. I think unfortunately for products, when it comes to it, it's going to be one of them that it is going to be massive in demand. The set itself is outrageously good. The only hope that we can have is the fact that it gets printed to the absolute moon. Now, already knowing that they've come out and said that there's going to be not enough printing is a little bit concerning. And I think that is going to be where the product side of stuff will make a massive hit. Now, in terms of a collector's value, I think a lot of people will try and get whatever MSRP sets they can get. So I know that one of the local shops near me is going to get about 10 ETBs each, and that's all they've been managed to get. So that is a local LGS, so it just is what it is when it comes to it, but it shows you the levels. Now, when it comes to Smith, I know Destined Rivals, they had a crazy amount to start with, and now they have nothing for the past 4 or 5 days. So it will be interesting to see where it goes. Like we've seen with multiple other sets before, they've come out with very low printing and then suddenly a year later, 2 years later, the stock is flowing. The hype will eventually die down. And for me personally, this set is going to be an outrageously good set to actually collect. And it's a shame that we don't get the product for this because honestly, with the hit rates, with if it follows on from what Japanese sets are like, and it really has to be, with 180 illustration rares, there is no way that we cannot have at least a semi-decent hit rate. May not be your massive SARs in every single box, but at least a few illustration rares in a box. Like you'd imagine you'd be getting at least like 6 or 7. Yes, you'll be getting duplicates, but it should be a very consistent pull rate. Hopefully not to the point where it's 1 illustration per pack, because I could see them going down that route with how many they've done here. Hopefully this just stays a special set. But when it comes to product, I feel like that will go through the roof still. We've seen the same with Prismatic. We've seen the same with Destined Rivals. Journey Together may have dropped down a little bit, but it's going back up. The booster boxes are still at an all-time high for a release date. Maybe not for a year or two down the line, but for an actual release date, it's absolutely terrifying to see where these prices are truly going. Now, obviously, if you've been in the hobby long enough, you know full well these prices up and go. They come down, they go up, and as a collector, and I do like to invest in the sealed stuff, but collector is kind of like my main portfolio more so than anything. You just buy the singles. The singles are at a good price. We've saw Prismatic. People are getting sick of it. The pull rates aren't great, so it's already to the point where I've managed to get 2 evolutions from it. Got a Demigod pack, and I'm quite happy with that. I will happily now sieve through and slowly get all of the Prismatic singles. And to be honest, we've seen it. Vaporeon's down. Flareon's down. We see Umbreon coming slightly down. Now, I'm not saying they're down forever, but they are coming down. And it will be the exact same for Black and White. If you can't get the product, then obviously you just go and buy the singles instead. Like we've seen with the Japanese. It's not like all of the English are going to be 20, 30, 40 pounds each illustration. They're going to be £2, £3, £5. You'll get a lot of them in the mix range of about 10. Which is more than fine. If you can't find the product and say the booster bundle's coming in at £100 for 6 packs, I would much rather go buy 10 illustration rares every month, every other month, and build the collection that way than trying to get something, if you know what I mean. So it will be an interesting kind of hold for them. I do think product will go through the roof, and to be honest, I think it's going to be scarce again. It's going to be Prismatic all over again when it comes to trying to find it. If you can, everybody's going to want it. I don't feel like this is going to be a set that you will find loads of, and I'm hoping I'm wrong. I really hope the shelves are stacked, but with how Destined Rivals came out, and to be honest, even Journey Together, I haven't seen a Journey Together booster box since the release date now. Like, since like the first few, I'd say about 3-4 weeks, I saw loads. All of your LGSs, all of your kind of like corner shops if you're in England, and then Smiths had a semi-decent roll on them. Like they were coming in, they were still flying out, like don't get me wrong, every other day the box was gone, but it was like they were constantly being printed back into shops. Destined Rivals, people didn't like that set. I absolutely loved how it looked. I have got some gripes with the battle partners. I think it could have been like the Gym Heroes in my opinion, and Team Rocket should have been a set on its own, but it's still as a whole set, very nice indeed. But there's no printing of it. I've probably opened up 2 ETBs from Smiths, a handful of packs that you could get. I think you get like 5, and then I've had 1 half a sleeve booster box that I managed to pick up from a local shop. Everything else is gone. You check them all, everything is gone without paying market. Now, obviously, you could pay market for all of these, but realistically, we're looking for the MSRP. I'm looking to collect. I'm not looking to invest in it. I'm looking to collect and try and get the set in itself. And I think Black and White will be the exact same. Unless you are buying market price, I feel like it's going to be very scarce again for the MSRP price. And hopefully, we do see a big print from it, but I can see singles starting off high, dropping down slowly, maybe taking a big catapult once we get into maybe the next big set. But I do think product is unfortunately going to be priced out of what probably you want to pay for. Unless you're standing in the queues on the release date, it is going to be very difficult to try and find this set again. So let me know down below what you think about Black and White. If you are going to collect it, I can imagine a lot of people are looking hyped for it and probably a little bit fatigued from it as well. But let me know down below what you're at, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.